Hi everyone! Welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 8. And this video is for our novel. So in this video, we'll be going over difficult phrases from the novel. And this is to help with your cultural fluency by becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, which is a long word for just saying sayings. Students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate, which means to use, these phrases to convey and show their ideas more precisely. So we're not just going to watch the video and understand, but I want you to practice this in your regular speech. In this video, we'll be going over James and the Giant Peach, and this is for chapters 11 through 17. So if you don't already, please go grab your novel book so that we can look at the passages together. First, everyone, let's go to page 35. Let's see, page 35. I hope everyone has the same version of the book as me. So, let's actually start from the bottom of page 34. We're going to look at the last indent, okay? It says, "Oh my goodness, the poor thing," the ladybug cried. "I do believe he thinks it's him we are wanting to eat." There was a roar of laughter from all sides. Oh dear, they said. "What an awful thought." "You mustn't be frightened," the ladybug said kindly. "We wouldn't dream of hurting you. You are one of us now. Didn't you know that? You are one of the crew. We're all in the same boat." So what does it mean here when we say we're all in the same boat? Are they actually riding a boat right now? No, not exactly. They're inside of a peach. So what does it mean that they're all in the same boat? This phrase means that everyone involved is in the same situation or facing the same challenges. It emphasizes that this is a shared experience. So this idiom comes from the literal sense of being in the same boat, as the picture here shows, where if one person faces trouble, everyone in the boat is affected. So if you can see the far right picture of the boat, if one person, say that the first person in that boat is getting into trouble, is he the only one that's going to fall in the water? Most likely not. They will all probably likely fall in the water together. So in this context of the story, it signifies that James is now considered part of the group, and they all share the same fate and responsibilities. So even though everyone else in the peach are insects, James is now in the same boat because they're all going to work together as one team. So when can we use this? We can use it when we say, we're all in the same boat here, so let's work together to solve the problem. Meaning we're not enemies, come on, let's work together. Or we can say, if the company fails, we're all in the same boat, so we need to pull it together, meaning we gotta work together. All in the same boat. So try to use this when you're with your friends. All in the same boat. Next one. Everyone, let's go to page 38. 38. Let's start from the middle, where it says, "So did I," said the ladybug. Right here. It says, "So did I," the ladybug said. "I swallowed 3. This is when they're talking about when they had the little green alligator tongues. It says, "I swallowed 3, the centipede cried. "But who's telling the story anyway? Don't interrupt." "It's too late to tell stories now," the old green grasshopper announced. "It's time to go to sleep." "I refuse to sleep in my boots," the centipede cried. "How many more are there to come off, James?" This is when James is trying to take off the centipede's shoes. It says, "I think I've done about 20 so far," James told him. "Then that leaves 80 to go," the centipede said. 22, not 80, shrieked the earthworm. He's lying again. The centipede roared with laughter. Stop pulling the earthworm's leg, the ladybug said. This sent the centipede into hysterics. Pulling his leg, he cried, wriggling with glee and pointing at the earthworm. Which leg am I pulling? You tell me that? So what does it mean to pull someone's leg? Is it like this picture where this girl is actually pulling the other girl's leg physically and literally? No. When you are pulling someone's leg, this means, well, it says stop. Stop pulling someone's leg. It means to stop teasing or stop joking with someone in a way that may be a bit confusing. This idiom likely originates from the notion of playing or tugging at someone's leg to trick them or annoy them, although this isn't 100% clear. In this story, it's used to tell someone to stop making fun of or deceiving the earthworm. So when can we use this? You can say, are you pulling my leg, or is this for real? Meaning, are you joking? Are you trying to prank me? Are you trying to tease me right now? Right? As you can see in the second picture, the girl with the yellow hair is teasing and pulling the girl with the brown hair. Right? Or you can say, stop pulling her leg about the surprise party. She's starting to believe it. Meaning, stop joking about it. She thinks that we're actually going to have it. But really, they're not going to. So to pull someone's leg means to make fun of them or to joke around with them. So say that one person keeps joking around and teasing you. You can say, stop pulling my leg. I mean, stop teasing me. Not just really pulling somebody's leg. We don't want to pull someone's leg. You can get hurt. Page 41. 41. Let's go to the second indent from the bottom. It says, of course it's a glowworm, the centipede answered. At least that's what she calls herself. Although actually, you are quite right. She isn't really a worm at all. Glowworms are never worms. They are simply lady fireflies without wings. Wake up, you lazy beast! But the glowworm didn't stir. So the centipede reached out of his hammock and picked up one of his boots from the floor. Put out that wretched light, he shouted, hurling the boot at the ceiling. My, this centipede is quite the character. So here, didn't stir. So am I like stirring some soup? Is a glowworm stirring or not stirring? Also, that is a picture of a glowworm. It doesn't look like a worm, right? It's just a firefly, but a lady version with no wings. So what does it mean here to not stir? To not stir means to remain still or motionless. You're not moving and you're not showing any signs of movement. The phrase stir in this context refers to making any sort of physical movement. And this is often used metaphorically to describe a lack of activity or a lack of response. So here, Centipede's like yelling at the glowworm, but the glowworm didn't stir. She's like, I'm still sleeping. She did not care. This phrase here was used to emphasize that glowworm was completely inactive, which means like she just wasn't moving. She didn't care. So, when can we use this? You can say this when there is a cat that didn't stir from its nap even when the doorbell rang. So when we go ding dong, ding dong, the cat will, probably wake up, right? But the cat didn't stir. It didn't move at all. It kept sleeping. Or we can say, despite the noise, he remained still, not stirring from his spot. So even though there's a lot of noise, maybe the baby that was sleeping again didn't stir. Just sleeping. To not stir, meaning freeze, don't move. We can say, when the angry teacher walked in and slammed the door, all the students didn't stir. They just sat there in shock. But no teacher would actually slam the door. That's not nice. Page 42, the next page right after. At the very top, It says, the glowworm slowly opened one eye and stared at the centipede. There is no need to be rude, she said coldly, all in good time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, shouted the centipede, or I'll put it out for you. So all in good time. What does that mean? Good time? How can time be good and how can time be bad? Is this literally? No. This phrase means that something will happen eventually, sooner or later, or when it is appropriate. Meaning there's no need to rush or worry about it. So here, centipede kept saying, turn off your light. And then the glowworm was like, and all in good time. Just meaning, just wait. Don't rush me. This phrase has been used in English to indicate patience is required and that things occur in the flow and in their own course. So don't worry about it. It reassures that there is no need for impatience and that glowworm will turn off the light when she wants to. Let's see here. When can we use this? Say that we're waiting for our test results, right? And then one student's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I got. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I don't know. Did I pass? Did I fail? Oh no. I need my test score now. And then you can be like, hey, and all in good time. Don't worry about it. It's going to come out soon. Just don't worry. No need to rush. Or say that you're the shortest one in your class and you want to grow, right? I was also the shortest in my class up until first year of high school. Can you believe that? And now I'm really, really tall. I was the shortest one, and then I'm like, oh, I want to grow up. I want to get taller. And then someone can be like, all in good time, Kimberly, just wait. You'll grow later. Don't rush it. So whenever someone is rushing and you want them to calm down a bit, you can just say, all in good time. Good. Page 44. Yeah. Let's go to the first indent at the top. It says, of what? Asked James. Never you mind, said the ladybug. But nothing could be worse than this desolate hilltop and those two repulsive aunts of yours. Hear, hear, they all shouted. Hear, hear. What does it mean? Hear, hear. Hear, hear? No, that's a homophone of hear, hear. Why do we use the words hear, hear 2 times? This phrase is used to express approval or agreement, often during speeches or discussions. It's an old way of saying listen or pay attention, and is used to show strong support. So here, H-E-R-E, this phrase comes from a British parliamentary tradition where members of the court would shout, hear, hear, to express agreement with what was being said, meaning everybody agrees. They all shouted, hear, hear. It's used in the story to show enthusiastic support. Okay, so when can we use this? When the speaker made a powerful point, the audience shouted, hear, hear, meaning everybody. Or you can say, all right, everybody, hear, hear. Pay attention, meaning listen up. I need your attention, please. So 1, it could be to show approval and agreement with someone, or this can also just mean, please pay attention. 44, we're on the same page. And at the bottom, let's keep going. I'll start from at this moment in the middle. At this moment, continued the ladybug, our centipede, who has a pair of jaws of sharp as razors, is up there on top of the peach, nibbling away at the stem. In fact, he must be nearly through it, as you can tell from the way we're lurching about. Would you like me to take you under my wings so that you won't fall over when we start rolling? That's very kind of you, said James, but I think I'll be all right. Just then, the centipede stuck his grinning face through the hole in the ceiling and shouted, I've done it! We're off! We're off! The others cried. We're off! The journey begins, shouted the centipede. So we're off. Does that mean, who turned off the lights? Or, we're on? What does it mean we're off? As you can tell by my little hint at the bottom, it means let's go. We're off here. This phrase means that a journey or activity is starting. It's an announcement that it's time to begin or let's go, to start off. The phrase we're off comes from the act of leaving or departing, commonly used when we're starting a trip or an event. So in this case, the peach here is beginning a new adventure as it's going about to roll down the hill and leave that treetop on the top of the hill at Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker's house. So when can we use this? You can say, after months of planning, we're finally off on our vacation. Or you can say, with a cheer, the team shouted, we're off, as the race began. Or what I like to say mostly is, when I'm on the plane and then the plane actually got off the ground, I can say, we're off, we can go, woo, the vacation starts now. We're off. Or maybe when class is over, you can be like, all right, we're off, let's go home. We're off. Page 47. Ooh, scary. This one's a bit scary. Page 47. Let's start from the first indent of chapter 15. It says, we shall. Everybody ready? It says, we shall make a fortune today, Aunt Spiker was saying. Just look at all those people. I wonder what became of that horrid little boy of ours last night, Aunt Sponge said. He never did come back, did he? He probably fell down in the dark and broke his leg, Aunt Spiker said. Or his neck, maybe, Aunt Sponge said hopefully. Just wait till I get my hands on him, Aunt Spiker said, waving her cane. He'll never want to stay out all night again by the time I've finished him. Good gracious me, what's that awful noise? These aunts really are not nice people. They're quite horrid. But what does it mean here? Just wait till I get my hands on him. This phrase means that someone, Aunt Spiker, is going to confront or deal with someone, meaning James, by having a serious conversation or maybe even being violent. As you can see, she was waving her cane. And I have a picture of this grandma here because she's walking with a cane. So imagine Aunt Spiker waving that cane in the air, meaning she maybe even hit him with the cane. Who knows? The phrase is to show and convey a strong intention to directly talk to someone about something that happened, meaning they're going to get in trouble. They're going to yell at them. They're going to have some kind of punishment or consequence. So here it's showing that Aunt Spiker is really angry about James not coming home last night and that she is going to deal with him. So when can we use this? Just wait till I get my hands on that bad student. Meaning maybe the person's going to yell at the student. Not very nice. So this next one is not an idiom. It's not a phrase, but I did want to point out something very fun that Roald Dahl, the author of this book, did. So please, let's go to page 50. Again, not an idiom. If you want to skip this, you can. But if you want to listen, that's great. Let's look at the first indent. It says the peach. The peach was still going at a tremendous speed with no sign of slowing down. And about a mile further on it came to a village. So this peach was going down and finally got to a village. Down the main street of the village, it rolled with people leaping frantically out of its path right and left. And at the end of the street, it went crashing right through the wall of an enormous building and out of the other side, leaving two gaping round holes in the brickwork. So this building happened to be a famous factory where they made chocolate. And almost at once, a great river of warm, melted chocolate came pouring out of the holes in the factory wall. A minute later, this brown sticky mist was flowing through every street in the village, oozing under the doors of houses and into people's shops and gardens. What is this? What is Roald Dahl talking about? He is pointing to another book that he wrote, which was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So this factory with all this chocolate is referencing Roald Dahl's other famous book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The imagery here of the river of chocolate pouring from the factory is relating it back to the chocolate river in Willy Wonka's factory. So, Roald Dahl often includes playful and imaginative elements in his stories, and so he was referencing his other story just to be fun about it. It was a good little, I don't know, a little reference to his other book. I really liked it. I was like, as I was reading, I was like, oh, he's talking about his other book. Let's go to the next one. Next one. It says on page 56. Let's start from the top. It says, "Nor I," the ladybug said. "It's taken years off my life." "But my dear friends," cried the old green grasshopper, trying to be cheerful, "we are there." "Where?" they asked. "Where is there?" "I don't know," the old green grasshopper said, "but I'll bet it's somewhere good." "We are probably at the bottom of a coal mine," the earthworm said gloomily. "We certainly went down and down and down very suddenly at the last moment. I felt it on my stomach. Ugh, I still feel it." So what does it mean here to feel it in their stomach? And they kept going down and down and down. This phrase describes the sensation of a physical impact that strongly felt inside of their body. So like the feeling of dropping suddenly. It has a gut reaction of your stomach. So this expression is showing a physical response that someone feels in their stomach area when feeling a sudden or intense event of maybe dropping. So if you imagine being on a roller coaster, if you've ever been on one, when you're on a roller coaster and it goes and you're going all the way to the top, and then all of a sudden it goes and it drops, you feel it in your stomach. You feel like your stomach's like in your mouth and it goes about to throw up. So to feel it in your stomach means to feel a bit oozy and feel a bit dizzy and feel a bit uncomfortable. Good. And last one. Let's go to page 57. This is the last paragraph of chapter 17. It says, "So half an hour later, when the rope ladder had been finished and hung, the 42nd boot had been laced neatly into the centipede's 42nd foot, they were ready to go out. Amidst mounting excitement and shouts of, 'Here we go, boys, the promised land! I can't wait to see it!' the whole company climbed up the ladder one by one and disappeared into a dark, soggy tunnel in the ceiling that went steeply, almost vertically upward." What does it mean here, the promised land? This may be a bit difficult for you, but the promised land is a reference or a place that is highly desired or eagerly anticipated, or where it offers hope and a long-held dream. So a promised land is like, dun dun dun, we're finally here where we wanted to go. But they don't know where they really wanted to go, right? Here, the term originally comes from a Bible story where the Israelites journeyed to the land that was promised to them by God. So that's why it's called the promised land. That's the reference historically. But why is this phrase used in the story? In this story, it's used metaphorically to describe the exciting and highly awaited destination that all our insect friends were going, suggesting that it's a place of great significance and joy. So you can be like, when can we use this? You can say, all the new opportunities felt like the promised land. I was able to finally do what I wanted to. Or you can say when we're hiking up the mountain, we're like, yes, the promised land, meaning they reached where they wanted to go, which is probably the summit, the peak, the top. Very good, everyone. And we're done. Mission. How many feet does the centipede actually have? How many pairs of shoes does he need? And let me add another one here, because it's kind of easy. How many feet does a centipede think that he has? So there's 3 different ones that you need to say. And please write your answers in complete sentences. You cannot just write a number and put it in the box, okay? The centipede has blank feet. He needs blank pairs of shoes. He thinks he has blank feet. Good? Good. Make sure you do complete sentences for all of them now. And now it's time for review and self-study. And this is for contextual mastery. And review the phrases again. Read it out loud. And reread the novel where these phrases came from. And then after all that, you can do your novel homework. Thank you for joining me this week. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you and bye.